Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. 36 years ago today, May 22nd, 1989 to be exact, Queen released their 13th studio album, The Miracle. Reading online, I found it's very divisive amongst fans. I don't see why. I think this is a solid album. As for the cover, I'll get to that later, but a lot of people don't like it. But I'll explain to you why I like this. What I like this cover, and it means a lot to me, and I think it should mean a lot to the fan base. Released, like I said, in 1989. If we go a little bit back, after their Icona Magic tour in '86, they took an extended break. Brian May was getting a divorce. He went through a depression, and Freddie Mercury was diagnosed with HIV. So I guess the talk happened where, are we continuing or are we packing it in? And they could have, with their heads held high. These guys were legends. They had nothing left to prove. But thankfully for us, they continued. And this is the miracle that they did. And that's why I think it changed. The original title was called The Invisible Men, but I think they made a great choice a couple of weeks before the release to call it The Miracle, because it's a miracle it got made. They could have packed it in with all they were going through. And thankfully, again, and I appreciate that they did create this record. I think it's a great record. Sonically, it's stronger than, I say, A Kind of Magic and even The Works. I think The Works is a great album, but for that title, I thought they were going to throw everything at the kitchen sink in it and make it sound like an old school Queen album, but it's very stripped down and very short and sweet. This is a little bit everywhere. You got the Caribbean flair, you got the dance songs, you got the rock songs, you got pop songs, you got a little bit smooth R&B-ish on here, you got a tinge of progressiveness on here. It has a little bit of everything. So I could have seen this being called The Works as well. This has that old school Queen where you have a little bit of everything thrown into the mix. And I think it works wonders. I think what happened to this album, if you listen to the intro, the song called Party and Khashoggi's Ship, there's some days I love that intro, and there's some days you go, it's an odd intro, but I took it as this is a jam session with the band. This is how they started to get, back into the groove of recording. And I think they just put in the bass, they were having fun. And I take it as that. But there are times you kind of go, it's an odd intro. And I think the introduction of an album should reel the listener in. And sometimes if it doesn't, it becomes a harder sell as the album moves on, as you go on to the album, right? Because the first instinct is, yeah, I'm on board, or, oh, no. And this is one of those albums where sometimes I can see people going, "Oh, I'm not on board." But I love those songs. I think they're great. The Miracle, I think, is an underrated gem in their catalog. It has layers to it. It's like U2's Beautiful Day or Bryan Adams' On a Day Like Today. The more you hear it, the more stuff goes into your ear, and the more you listen to it. It is a slow burn. This is a beautiful track and deserves to be recognized. I Want It All is a great rocker. The Invisible Man is a great dance tune. Breakthrough, I love the intro, especially with that dramatic flair from Freddie Mercury. The only one that could actually pull that off. Sounds very cinematic. And then goes, final breakthrough. Now it goes, I can't do it nowhere near as Freddie Mercury, so don't take that as how good it is. It is miles above what I could do. Scandal is great. Was It All Worth It? Where the band looks back at their life and their career, and would they have done things the same? And I think they kind of said, yeah, they would. And they were very appreciative of the success, the fortune and fame, and everything that came along with it. And they would do it all over again. And I don't blame them. As for the cover, if you look at some of their albums prior to this, the band started crediting themselves as writers. So you had like Brian May, writer, Freddie Mercury, Deacon, Taylor, If you look at the songs on here, the songs are all credited to Queen. I think with that talk, with their realization that these guys, these four distinct individuals, are the sum of the parts of the band Queen. And I think this is a special cover, and I think it just shows that they're all together. It's a collaborative effort in every sense of the word. And these four guys are now one, and they create that classic Queen sound that we know and we love and we adore. So as for the cover, I love it because what I think it means to me, what it means to you, is up to you. But I think you deserve one time to listen to this. It's 36 years ago this month. for me, it still sounds just as good as it did in 1989. So do yourself a favor, search this out. You will not be disappointed. If you can, get the deluxe edition. The remastering is phenomenal. You get some great bonus tracks on here. Search it out. It's called The Miracle from Queen, released May 22nd, 1989, and you will be rocked. Be seeing you soon, guys.